Hello, Dennis. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm great. You?
Fantastic. I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me today. For our audience, I would like to explain what the reason is, who you are, how we met, so that they have a little bit of background information. What I actually decided to do this year is to have more live conversations with my clients, with my coachees, with the people that I spent a lot of time coaching, chatting, exploring their challenges, but also success stories with. So what I've been doing this year quite consistently is inviting them onto a call like this one, which I call the branding call, to show to other expats what expat coaching is about, what the expat coaching actually looks like, and what my expat stories are about, who these people are, what problems do they have, right? What are their challenges? How do they make progress? How do they solve, the issues? How do they make headway? And I have actually come across a lot of feedback, comments that were very positive, that were inspiring to the expats out there. And as you know, probably because you joined one of my workshops, there are over 300 million expats out there. So people who live, reside outside their home country. And they speak the same language. It's not English. They have just the same challenges. They have the same thoughts, reflections, doubts, reservations, fears. And I think by having you on the call here and chatting about your story, it will shed more light on your trajectory in Spain, because you're based in Barcelona, but also your story as an expat. So
Mhm.
everyone meet Deniz, who I met personally in Barcelona already. I'm looking at my calendar 5 months ago. I was
Okay.
Yes, it was exactly 15th of May. We met in our lovely city that we both have something special for, right? In Barcelona on the 15th of May, I was facilitating a workshop. Oh, there is a doggy there. I can see it. Uh, I was facilitating a workshop about thriving abroad. So it was directed at expats, coming from an expat. I lived abroad for 20 years. And we met, maybe not directly, but on the 20th, I'm looking at my notes, on the 20th of May, so 5 days after, Danny sends me an email saying, Lucy, I need to chat. So we had a conversation about where she was at. So tell me, Dennis, why did you decide to book a discovery call with me?
Well, I even have goosebumps now
Oh,
remembering
yes.
that day. Yes, because it was my first day.
In
So
Barcelona, yes. She
yes,
has she has
but
just moved. Wow.
yeah, it was my first day, and I arranged this date just to be in that fair. I
Great.
want to be in that fair and see what is it there, if it's
Hmm.
something there for me.
Yeah.
I had
It
my
was a
own.
sorry to interrupt you. It was a job fair, right? So you were there
It was
to
a job fair.
network, to
Yes.
look around for a job. Hmm.
Exactly. So I had my own business, but when I decided to come to Barcelona, my first decision was to find a job. That's why I was in that fair.
Hmm.
And it was my first day, and all of a sudden I felt so overwhelmed with everything because I had nothing. I had a temporary house. I didn't have a job. I didn't know what to do. I had some Spanish, lots of motivation. I was preparing for this transition for 6 months,
Yeah.
and I was there and I was like, now what?
Now
And I
what?
saw the title and I said, I have to go and listen to this. This is what I need. And I met you, and you told me exactly what I need to hear that day.
Mm.
And I think at the point that we did the chart, there was this chart which was divided in different areas of our life: business, hobbies, dating, housing, every area. So when I look at this chart, I knew it before, but many areas were um, not looking so good. My health and my hobbies were like top, and the
Yeah.
other areas were like zero,
Mm.
close to zero.
Yes.
And in my life, a couple of times I reinvented myself. I had a corporate job in marketing. I left my corporate job first to teach yoga, and then I started my own well-being business.
Mm.
But at this time, I had too many changes in my life. everything.
Mm.
And language.
Yeah.
The country that I live in, I didn't know anyone. I didn't have a job, and I didn't know what to do, like to create my business here or to find a job. I had so many uncertainty,
Yeah.
and at that point, I think I decided I have to talk with this woman. And then after our session, I decided that I need this coaching, this support to have a more balanced transition in my life.
Hmm.
Even if I did it before and I could have done it, I really needed help and some clarity and someone to get me through this uh,
Hmm.
with support.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So basically, as it happens to many expats, right, there are many challenges that kind of happen simultaneously. So it's not like you have your house or home or flat and then you embark on a new journey to look for a job, for instance. No, for you, it was like you mentioned, everything at the same time. So new culture, new language, new environment, looking for a house, looking for a job, or deciding whether you wanted to maybe start your own business. Also, building your social network. So this is what many expats underestimate, because we are talking about repeated expats here, right? You had moved abroad before. You lived in
Mhm,
Turkey, you lived in Italy, right?
mhm.
Was it Greece as well?
No, just Italy.
Just Italy.
Yes.
So it was your kind of your second country abroad, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you had done the
But
trans.
yeah, it was 20 years before, and I was studying. So I just changed the country and the language, and I was speaking a little bit Italian
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
But that didn't affect me that much because it was like more like an experience, and I was younger. Here, it was more like a conscious change that I want to change all my life consciously, not just like to move abroad. Like I decided to reborn
yeah,
actually when
yeah,
I come here. It was like a second chance for me, second chance to start my life.
yeah,
And that's been how I feeling since
yeah.
I came here.
Yeah, like turn a new leaf. So really reinvent yourself yet again. And it wasn't just a temporary stay abroad for studies. It was settling, right? Building your life abroad and managing all the challenges. I I am very fond of taking notes. Sometimes I use an AI note taker, but when we met on the 20th of May, I still took my notes manually, and you were sharing that you were lacking motivation, you would have loved to be more productive, you didn't feel challenged, you felt overwhelmed with all the things you have just mentioned. You said, Lucy, I definitely need more clarity and direction to be able to decide what my next step is and why I choose this as my next step. Now that I know you better, now that we looked into your strengths, your natural talents, your passions, what you did before, I can understand that having a challenge, having clarity about your actions was key to you. So, Nanis, tell me, where are you now? Because this is what I always am asked about. Okay, so Lucy, what results do you promise? Can you give me a guarantee?
Mhm.
We've described the back before, right? And what is happening in your life now? You're still in Barcelona. You haven't found a job, right? What is happening with the culture, the language, the job situation, the social? Give us a
Mhm.
little bit of insights about your current situation.
So I think I changed a lot. First of all, I stepped into my power. I gained a lot of confidence, clarity, and it's of course changing. It's not every day. For example, now we're transitioning into winter and I have more like unmotivated days still. It's not
Mhm.
constant, of course, like
Of
nothing
course.
is.
Yeah.
But in general, where I was at and where I'm now, it's like I have my power, I have my confidence, and I have my motivation back. And the first idea was to find a job. And I remember you, after like our first or second session, you asked me, like, Deniz, you have a lot of good offerings. You're doing an amazing job. You have been doing an amazing job. You want to do it here in Barcelona, in Spain, in Europe, or you really want to find a job,
Yeah.
which I didn't. I didn't. It was just an idea to make things easy, like
Mm.
my visa sponsorship and like a regular salary, because I was exhausted to be an entrepreneur
Yeah.
and working alone. But the more I started to work on myself with your guidance, and the more I started to work, like translating my web page, my documents into English to have everything in English to present myself, even if I was looking for a job. And talking about this with people, I understand, yes, I have a lot to offer and people are interested. And
Mm.
then organically, this developed a
Yes.
new way started to open. And now in November, I host my first event. I have many events scheduled in December and January.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with just working on myself, it unfolded. My direction unfolded, and there are still many uncertainties.
Yeah.
First, housing, it was still it's difficult. I'm still changing houses, and I'm still learning. I'm able to speak Spanish, like
Mhm.
have meetings, have daily conversations, social interactions, but still I'm taking classes. I'm learning. I get exhausted sometimes after many hours of talking in Spanish,
Yeah.
and yeah, many areas I think in my life get better. There's still room for improvement,
Yeah.
and I realize that I don't have any rush.
Yeah.
Also, I don't have any rush. I always remind myself to enjoy the process because I made this big decision and I'm here. Sometimes we forget I'm here every day. I remind myself I'm here. I'm in Barcelona and remind myself to also enjoy and to make the most of it because we never know what will happen tomorrow.
Exactly. I really
Yeah.
love what you said, that it's consistent effort. It's not like now everything is perfect and now you only are motivated. No, so it's still fluctuating. Of course, like any other person, you have good and bad days. But in order to find your direction, you took action. I think this is what I would again want to congratulate you on. So I think for people listening to us who are trying to figure out where they should go, what the next step should be, what their mission purpose is, whatever you want to call it, you will not learn it, you will not find it out if you don't take action. And sometimes this action will be it will be erroneous, just to realize, oh, that's actually not up my alley. That's not something that I truly enjoy. You took a lot of action. You were doing it on a very consistent basis, and you are now helping others with their well-being, because we haven't actually mentioned what Denise does. So when you reached out to me, you were thinking about having a job, like you explained, to have the stability, to security, have also a team, a company's vision, stable income. So that's, I think, very inspiring for others to see that actually we want to cling on something that's familiar, that's safe, but being out of the comfort zone and following, our desires is the better way out in a long or medium term. So
Mhm.
um, Dennis is a well-being consultant, helping people with what exactly? What is well-being? It's a really nice buzzword, I would say, and well-being is extremely important. But I
Mhm.
always ask, how would we define it? What is well-being,
Mhm.
Denise?
So a little bit about my background. I have a background in marketing, mostly in food and beverage. So food
Mhm.
food had always a very important role in my life, and I always liked working with products and food culture. It was mostly for San Pellegrino for many years, and
Mhm.
I lived in Italy, so it's
Yeah.
Italian food culture and lifestyle that I really liked, and I wanted to build a life that embraces that lifestyle. And then I when I left my corporate job, I started teaching yoga. I was always an active person. I was running. I had a running group. I was running in marathons, and then I started to practice yoga. And
Yeah.
my even if I had a conscious way of living, I had some different level of consciousness, and I started to share this
Mhm.
practice that felt really good and changed my life. And first, I started teaching yoga, and the more I teach, the more I was curious, and
Yeah.
I got more trainings about different styles of yoga, breathwork, meditation, and Ayurveda, um, nutrition. And I started to also work with companies because I have a corporate background. I know the challenges, and I know um, the challenges that the people who work in corporate environments have. So
And tell me
I
what,
also wanted to,
and tell me, sorry to interrupt you, because I'm curious, while you're chatting about it, what are the challenges that people working in corporate environment have? Because I spent most of my career working in the corporate environment. What do they suffer from? And on the other hand, how can you help them?
yeah, I think it's been changing a lot with pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really happy about it. But it's like even working in an office in a closed space with artificial light for like 6 hours, maybe now it's less or it's
Yeah.
more flexible, but we're sitting for long periods of time without taking any breaks. And when we
Mhm.
take breaks, they're either a coffee or if
Yeah.
somebody's smoking a smoke or gossiping with someone,
Could be,
which
right?
creates which releases some energy, but it doesn't give us a recharge or a rebalance or recenter or energize us to do more work or more time for ourselves. So it's not opening space in our body and mind.
Yeah.
It's just closing, and in long term, it leads more energy crashes, more tiredness, more closeness,
Mm.
and we're rushing all the time.
Yeah.
That's why I also have to remind myself I don't have a rush.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I have deadlines, but I have to enjoy. Like, whatever we do, we have to enjoy it. Life is
Be
so
in the
short.
moment. Yeah.
The time is the most precious thing, really.
Mm.
These were the concerns that I had.
Yeah.
Actually, even if I like my job, I didn't want to sit in an office every day,
Yeah.
building every day.
Mm.
So what I do, it's instead of many people now practice yoga, breathwork, many types, tools of
Yeah.
well-being, but they are outside of the office. Even if they're offered in the office, they are like after work or before work. But we might need these tools while working, maybe before a very important meeting, after a very important meeting, when we have been working long periods of hours
Yeah.
for a presentation, we need to take a break
Yeah.
and do breath work,
Yeah.
do meditation, and be more conscious about what we eat instead of eating in front of the screens.
Yeah.
We can share food, take our time to connect with the food,
Have some water
share
instead
this
of coffee.
time. Yeah, instead of coffee, we can we can have this time to connect with people more authentically.
Mm.
So to remind these or teach these, I give sessions in offices. They're like mindful office breaks where I give 15-minute sessions throughout the day.
Mm.
Instead of a coffee break, people can come and do a meditation or a breath work
Awesome.
or mindful after work. Now it's a
Yeah.
new program that I will start doing in January because there are a lot of my after works here in Barcelona. People love fiesta, of
Yeah.
course,
Of course.
celebrating and getting together with drinks. So I want to offer a different kind of after work where we can get together
Yeah.
drinking cacao or green tea or kombucha
Yeah.
and do breath work and still connect with people. And that connection might even actually be more authentic and more from the heart.
Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Um,
Mm. So it's
so yeah, I offer these programs for corporates. Also, I work one-on-one, like you, with people, which is more tailor-made programs depending on their if they have any imbalance, like any physical issues or
Yeah.
mental or any psychological imbalance, we create a program that includes nutrition, daily routines, and practices that they practice, or we can add some new practices to
Yeah.
create a lifestyle program. And it's not just a nutrition program; it's like how to live manual, because it's mostly rooted in Ayurveda and yoga, these philosophies that I embrace and use in my life.
Mm.
Uh, and Ayurveda means the knowledge of life. So it's not just what we eat, everything we do.
Hmm.
Um, it affects our life, and every thought, every emotion, we can digest or we cannot digest. It's not just food. We don't just digest food. We digest emotions, thoughts. So everything we think, we do, it affects our daily
Yeah.
life, and our body, and it causes sickness and
Mhm.
more
Thank you.
more tiredness, more problems. And many people live with them. They live with them. They think that's normal, to
Mhm.
have digestion, to have bloating, many problems like headaches. They think it's normal, and they just take a pill and they continue living with these
Mhm.
problems.
Yeah.
So,
So,
in this,
so,
yeah,
so
in this,
well-being is being more aware about those issues and going into the roots of having headaches, having pain, back pain, and then doing something about it, not once a week, not postponing it, but doing it when it
yeah,
arises and being more aware of where it is coming from. So you said well-being is not only nutrition, well-being is not only meditation, yoga. Well-being is actually your lifestyle. It's your routines, it's what you do, it's how you do it, it's
I
being in
think
the
every
moment,
decision
every
we take,
decision you take.
every decision, being conscious about every decision we take, like
Mhm.
to have a coffee. Do I really need that coffee
Yeah,
now? Every decision. Or if I'm thirsty, go and drink some water. People, even they don't drink, even they if they're thirsty. Like I used to do that just to
yeah,
send one more meal. I was
yeah,
not going to the bathroom or
yeah,
not drinking water.
yeah,
Like even people who think, and I was a conscious and healthy person.
yeah.
Even people, my clients, they're very conscious. They eat healthy. They think they eat healthy, but there's always some room for improvement.
Improvement.
There's always we can always get support. There's always some new knowledge we can know.
Yeah,
And the idea, it's very simple. It's like being conscious about every decision, changing our habits, which is hard. It's not easy. It's
of
not in a
course.
day. That's why I'm doing this
That's why you're
coaching
doing
to
what you're
help
doing.
them. And the more we change our daily habits, our overall health changes. And
And yeah, of
drinking
course.
coffee every morning, it's a habit.
Yeah,
We don't need that. We
yeah,
think we need that. I cannot wake up without coffee. It's
yeah,
a habit that you choose.
yes.
Realizing that we are choosing everything, and it has a root in meditation and yoga, like
Mm.
being more mindful, seeing our thoughts, and that we are choosing also the thoughts, like
Even 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 on the level of thoughts, of course, right? People say you are what you think. It's not always true that we are what we think, but we can choose what we think, right? We can choose to think more rational thoughts. We can choose to think alternative thoughts. So this is what you do now. Whereas when we met in May, you were considering, just taking yet another job to feel more secure, to feel, like you have the stability of a company that would have your back, that would support you. But tell me and share also with the people who are listening to us, what were the challenges, that together we've overcome, so that it doesn't seem like this is where she was in May. And now she's offering sessions at co-working spaces, working with individuals one-on-one, offering, you said, mindful breaks at firms, companies. What path did you have to walk to be where you are now, to have that confidence, to have that power, to have that motivation? Even though we say you still need to be focused on daily basis, you still have ups and downs because we're only human. But tell us, what were the difficulties and challenges that we have worked on?
Specifically here, even if I am really good what I do and I'm really passionate, that's what makes me
Yeah,
good. I think I'm really passionate and it's my life. It's not my job. I cook for
yeah,
my, now I'm sharing a house, and I cook for my flatmate. And sometimes she tells me like it's she feels useless that I'm cooking, but it's like for me, it's my life. I'm not like it's not just my job, it's my life. I like
yeah,
to cook, I like to share food, I like to have good food, healthy food at home.
yeah.
So I'm passionate. I'm like talking about these concepts and these philosophies and I live them every
Yeah,
day. But then on the other hand, nobody knows me here.
yeah.
And I really, it takes a lot of energy for business and for social relationships to explain myself over and over and over
Hmm.
again in Spanish, in English. And sometimes people, yeah, in general, they're interested and they value what I what I explain, but sometimes when I reach out to people, they don't respond. They
Hmm.
don't, they're not interested. So taking no as an answer, because in Turkey, I already was doing this for almost 6 years. I was known and I didn't have any problems to get new clients or working with
Hmm.
people. They knew
Yeah,
me. Here,
yeah.
it's like
You have to start
starting
from
from
scratch,
scratch.
right? Yeah, that's what expats
That
do. You
was,
need to settle, and kind of establish yourself and start from scratch. So you would say that reaching out and also promoting your business was one of the challenges. Well, I think the first one was actually deciding, right? To stop applying for jobs, because this is what you were doing at the beginning, to actually consciously take the step in the direction of launching your business and setting it up and then promoting it. So yeah, of course, Spain is a different culture. In Turkey, you were established, you had worked there, you had contacts, you had connections. In Spain, you had to start from scratch and also adapt your messaging to the audience. That's culturally different, right?
and as a self-employed, um, I always have difficulties to motivate myself all the
Hmm.
time. And
Yeah.
I think coaching really helps in
Hmm.
that point. Having someone to keep you on track that you feel responsible to.
Mm.
And when you have like these moments of demotivation, someone who will motivate you,
Mm.
I think it really helps.
Hmm.
So this is something I really needed. Like I think every self-employed person needs a coach.
Yeah, needs the accountability.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I remember then he's sending me emails, Lucy, this is what I am, doing. This is what's up. Being very, very active, right? But also getting some feedback and getting the direction. And you've done an amazing work of yeah, I think of overcoming your fears and just taking a lot of actions to be then able to eliminate those that weren't serving you and focusing on those that were bringing you results. So if I were to encourage people to invest in their well-being, I would definitely recommend they have a call with you, right? You also offer discovery calls just like I do, so that they gain some more clarity, and maybe that they also see how balanced or unbalanced their life is. And
Hmm.
if you spoke to other expats who are based wherever they are based, um, what would be the one piece of advice you would give to them? To any expatriates, what would be just the one piece of advice? I know we can talk volumes about life abroad, but what would be the one most precious advice you would give them?
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Enjoy because my whole experience changed when I decided to enjoy whatever is happening.
Hmm.
So even difficulties and everything is my teacher now. Everyone I meet, every experience, and I'm just open to see what's there in that, what's there for me.
Yeah. Hmm. I think
So
this was, sorry.
it's
Hmm.
it's a journey, and yeah, I think when we forget, sometimes we forget that also life, like it doesn't matter if you're an expat or not, actually, it's a
Yeah,
general advice, but if you're an
absolutely.
expat, like you changed your life, maybe you decided this for a long time, it was your dream, it was my dream for 20 years to move to Barcelona, and sometimes it's my daily life. I forget, but I have to remind myself
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
real and it's my
yeah,
life and I can make most of it
yeah,
and it's the decision to enjoy it or just to complain.
yeah.
And
I couldn't agree more. So appreciating what we once wanted, right? So think
exactly.
what is it that you have now that you once wanted so badly? What is it? And when we write a list of the things that we once wanted so badly, whether it's even, I don't know, materialistic things, and then the ones, that nurture our life. So I don't know, the freedom we have, the our surrounding things that we might be taking for granted. I think this was one of my no, I am sure it was my most important lesson to be in the now, even though it's very banal. It's very some people might say it's trivial, and it applies not only to expats, as you said. To be in the now is, I think, the wisest and the oldest wisdom there is, right? To
Mhm.
enjoy what we have, while we look forward to what the future has in store for us. So.